Ahora sí, sí, ahora se escucha. jobs. Okay, so here it takes too much to wait. Okay, let's follow and then we come back. Okay, and here also we can see some examples, creating cinematics. Everything here is created with Unreal Engine 5, inside Unreal Engine 5. And this is everything created with MetaHumans, with animations, with XGen, and it looks really, really great. So it is a way in which VFX can use it, so you can do a lot of cinematics and a lot of different stuff with this, and it is going to look really great. Okay, so basically it's this. Let's see, still loading. Okay. Okay, beside that, Beside that, we also have Houdini. So Houdini, we can also implement the things that we create in Houdini inside Unreal Engine. So here I have also a tool like a model created by Enrique, who is back there. He just created this model in Houdini. So basically, if you come here, we can change many stuff here. So for example, structure or streetlights. Let's see if it works. So you can activate, for example, streetlights, and then here in the bridge, it's going to appear some of the streetlights that he created. So it is a nice way to like implement what you are doing in Houdini in a way that is useful, in a way that you can do many things with this, and in a way in which you can just touch it here. You don't need to like create a model in 3D, export it here. If it doesn't look great, go back to the program modeling, and then change it back, re-import it again. So here you can change everything on site. So you see, you can change everything in real time. So it is a way in which it is very useful for what you want to do. Okay, so here, for example, for the base shape, you can change the length. So the length is going to change. You can change the width. You can change the, now it's not working properly, but yeah. You can change the width of the sidewalks. So you can change many stuff working with Houdini, implementing it into Unreal Engine, and with that, it is going to look much better, your projects. You can do many things with this. You can work on virtual production, you can work on cinematics, have like actors playing here, changing it the way you want. So it is a very nice thing to have. Okay, so Houdini and Unreal Engine, they work together pretty good. And it is something that in the future we are going to see much more for many different productions, and it is going to be much better. Okay, so beside that, we also have virtual production. I don't know if you have heard of virtual production. No? Yes? Okay. So virtual production, mostly I'm going to show you another video so that you can see. I don't know if you have seen The Mandalorian, the series. So they use a lot of virtual production. So mainly virtual production is just a big screen, like a kind of a sphere, in which you have Unreal Engine 5 in the background, in the screen, and you have a real camera that is connected to Unreal Engine. So basically, it's a mix between something that is real, like some person, like an actor with a table or something like that, with a camera that is also real, but the background of the image is Unreal Engine. So it's a scene. So it is very useful, for example, for the head and everything, because if you work on a green screen, then you have to do like a post-production and then fix everything. But here, all the reflejos, I don't know how to say in English. Yeah, all the reflections, they look very realistic. So it is a nice way to work with. And also, as I was saying before, so for example, this you can see here. So it's mostly real stuff in the front with an actor, and then on the background, just Unreal Engine 5 working on real time. You can change the weather, you can change the light. You want to like film something that is on a sunset. You want to film on a sunset. Sunset maybe, for example, is just 1 hour, 2 hours a day. You have to wait for the next day if you don't like what you have taken. But here it is like almost impossible to fail, because you have like as many hours as you can change it the way you can. So you can see here, I don't know if you see here, so there's like a scene in the background, and the way the camera moves, it is pointing into what it should be on inside Unreal. So it is a very nice way to work with, and it is very easy to work with this. Okay, another example. So for example, an actor with a motorbike with some background. Here you can see one person working on Unreal Engine 5, changing things. Everything changes in real time. Everything looks real good. And also another example, for example, like a car driving. It also looks really amazing. And for example, like let's say you want to film like a car falling into a road or something like that. You don't need to go into a road, like break a car. If it doesn't look great, you have to buy a new car, make it again. So it is a nice way to like kind of fake it, but in a way that it looks real, in a way that it's going to be good to work. Okay, so you see here, it's basically this. Okay, so virtual production, it is a nice way to have this. Okay, yeah. As I was saying before, metahumans, very nice thing to have too. So you can come here to the metahumans, and it's basically playing with, like if you were playing with the Sims. So you can change, for example, the color of the skin to make it like lighter, make it darker. Change, for example, the eyes, color of the eyes. Change the teeth, color of the teeth, the way it moves, the way it is. Okay, the head, you can change the way the head is, the hair. Okay, anything that you want, you can do it here. You can export it into Unreal Engine. It is going to look great. You can use it right away, so it is a very nice feature to have. And moreover, you can also change like the constitution. You can change the clothes. You can work with Marvelous, put it here, custom clothes, paint it on Substance Painter, change for example, the shoes too, put some custom shoes. So it is very versatile. And from here you have the metahuman inside your project, and you can do all the things that we have seen in the past. Okay. So yeah, basically virtual production is what I've been showing you. We also have like some examples here out of virtual production. So you see it is the same. So we have two actors here with a desk and some chairs, and the background, everything is basically Unreal Engine 5. But it looks really, really great. So it is a nice way to work with. It is very easy, and it doesn't take that much time as before. Okay, so you can see it here. And basically, and if there's, So basically it's this. So you can see here is the screen that you see, and then you have a screen on the top, and then here is where you feel, it's where you move. Okay, so you can see it here. Okay, and finally, some cinematic renders, things that I wanted to share you with. So some of the projects that we have been doing here at the school with students from the first grade in the master and career. So these are like some of the projects that are from this year and the last year, so that you can see what Unreal Engine is capable of. So keep in mind that these are the first projects that most of the people create, but even if they are the first ones, they look really, really great, so that you can see. So as you can see here, we could integrate everything that we have talked before, like put metahumans inside, create a virtual production, create a set that is similar to one of those scenes, and film from that. You have, for example, here also Niagara systems. Maybe create some video clip if you want to, some short films with this. So it has a lot of potential and it has a lot of options to choose from. And the thing is just for anyone to know what they want to use it for, but it is very, very nice. Okay. So yeah, and then another one, very different from the ones that you have seen, but also everything done on Unreal Engine 5. And it looks really, really nice too. Okay, this is also from students at FX Barcelona. But so, yeah. So the potential that Unreal has, it's limitless, and it is a very nice thing to use, okay? So yeah, beside that, I don't have anything else. If someone has any questions or something, that's all. Tell me.
So I want to ask about simulations in Houdini.
Mm-hmm.
I've tried to do simulations in Houdini, but I wasn't really capable of. I've tried on Houdini, and I wanted to export it on Unreal Engine, but the files are so messy. I don't know if there's a solution in Unreal to do simulations in Houdini and export it, or does Unreal have really good simulation?
Well, Houdini has some type of simulations with Niagara, but Houdini, most of them are like better. But the thing right now is that with Houdini, it is kind of hard to work with inside Unreal because of what you are saying, because the files are very massive. So I think that it is already like, it still needs much more work to do.
And what is the perfect pipeline? If I want to render on Houdini, I have a whole environment, and I want to do simulations.
Well, like in Houdini, you can work on stuff and then bring it, like the simulation, not the simulation itself, but like kind of the behavior of it into Unreal Engine. But it is like something that is like I'm not an expertise in, so I couldn't tell what is the main, like what is the best workflow to work with. Okay? No problem. Anyone? Hello?
Do you think like now that with Unreal 5 there is a Lumen,
Yeah.
how much it's like, because I tried many times, but like I prefer not with Lumen because I don't know, the reflection are kind of strange, like I don't know how to say. So how much do you think like it will be a game changer in the using Unreal, or just they're making bigger than it is?
Well, the thing is that now Lumen is like the new feature that Unreal Engine 5 has, but you have to also think that for most of the projects, they are not started like this year or the last year. They are started way before, and most of the projects that are like in development in video games, as I'm saying, they don't use Unreal Engine 5. So they still need to bake the lighting. They still need to like do all the old stuff. So Lumen is like a nice thing to work with, but I still think that it needs a lot of implementation inside the workflow, and I don't think that we are going to see any project done just with Lumen in a near future. Okay. Yeah, and it's also really heavy, and with Lumen, it may look nice, but you also need to have like a big, like a good PC so that it can run Lumen, and it is complicated sometimes. Okay.
For the Lumen, I just remember the blueprints, like to make it foggy, to make it rainy, and all the stuff. Is it implemented in Unreal Engine, or did you create it?
No, it's a plugin that we bought. So it's called Ultra Dynamic Sky. So it's this one, Ultra Dynamic Sky. So it's this, and it basically replaces the lighting that you have with the lighting from this plugin. Okay, so for example here I can come and I can, for example, on the weather, on the sky, for example, on the time of the day, I can make it 0, and it's going to make like a night day. I don't know if you can see it. So it has a lot of features that are like inside the usual lighting mode, but like in a different way. Okay. Anyone else? No? Okay, so that's it. Thank you. If you wanna contact me, these are like my links here on ArtStation, LinkedIn, and Twitter. I have them here. You can contact me if you want to, and we can talk. And that's it. Okay? Okay. Thank you. That's it. Yeah. Bueno, ya está. Vale. Send. Ara.
Ara ja sí, ara sí. Doncs el...
¿Quién te presenta?
Fàtima.
Bueno, si t'esperes i vas a deixar les coses...
Jo els tempos aquests no els porto jo.
Ah, vale. Tu diuen, comença i tu ja està. Sí, sí, al final sí, no va més tranquil, no passa res.
Sí, de hecho hay que recoger.
Hay otra charla, ¿no? Después de esta hay otra.
Es Metropolitan y luego ya la usted. Metropolitan y en el aula 2 no sé quién viene.
En el aula 2 voy yo ahora en 15 minutos, que es la última ya, que es el pleno.
Bueno.
Si necesitas algo, avísame que estoy aquí. Va. Lo digo porque ahora no está Víctor para contar.
Si no hay nada raro ya conecto yo, si hay algo que te acostumbres.
Vale. Ya.
Bueno. Doncs llavors, això serà fer-ne via. Serà fer-ne via, lo meu.
Què?
Fer-ne via.
Fer-la via.
No, tio, lo vuelvo a intentar,
Puedo contactar.
Estoy trabajando en los proyectos me da los robots al mes. Y bueno, ¿tú coneixes?
Sí, són boníssims.
Pues estava aquí el productor executiu
No jodes.
que vol contactar amb l'escola per reclutar, però no tenia reclutat.
Vaig enviar la meva reel, ja t'ho diré.
Pues,
Aquests tios, tu no has vist els seus projectes?
Diu que és de Some Robots.
Love, Death and Robots, però a més tenien trailers de... com es diu? Witcher 2, Witcher 3, tenen cinemàtiques guapíssimes, i a més són de l'est, són de Polònia o de per allà. Tenen aquesta cosa crua seva. Tenen dos projectes, un que es diu Paths of Hate, d'avions, que és que anen en rama, i un altre que es diu de Cathedral, per exemple. Tenen molts a la web i són molt bons. Mira-te'ls un rato perquè són curs d'animació, però tenen moltíssima originalitat d'explicació. N'hi ha un, com es diu? N'hi ha un d'uns soldats que és dels 2000, es va una mica bàsic, però la història és una dalla guapíssima.
no, el digo un capo.
Estaba ya apañado para la
Así, y él digo, es súper humilde, dice, ya sé que ahora estáis súper liados, pero me gustaría como tener contacto porque
Platíssima, és, tio.
està buscant gent i a més ell m'ha explicat que en remot a saco, o sigui que no cal...
Clar. Aquests, els de UPP. Sí, tothom ho té. si ens encén, no? Sí.
Bueno, esta frase soy yo, trabajo en Señora X Productions. Su recorrido será conocido por muchos de vosotros. He trabajado en diversas producciones en distintas partes del mundo, llegando bueno, a colaborar en los equipos que han conseguido premios tan reconocidos como los Oscars. Lo decimos muchas veces, pero bueno, que tampoco se gana cada día. Por lo tanto, tenemos que comentarlo. Nos va a presentar en su charla, que es en inglés, recorrido y una visión de lo que es la producción en cine y sobre todo lo que es la retención del talento y de cómo apostar por él. No garantizo que entre más gente y que salga más gente, porque con el tiempo en que se solapa pues puede ocurrir, así que disculpa si hay algún movimiento de puertas, vosotros también. Aprovechemos un poco para hacer también preguntas y pues, poder tener todos estos minutos, seguro que será súper interesante. Además, como estamos en Petit ahora mismo, es una oportunidad de oro para hacerlo con todo ese conocimiento y poder conocer Frances. Frances, todo bien, muchas gracias.
Merci. Okay, pues me paso el inglés. Thank you everyone for coming in. Basically, this is not my field of expertise, how to retain talent. This is more like an HR field, you know. So basically, when I was requested to do this presentation, what I thought was, okay, I have my own experience, okay, and then I've done a bit of research, but the main point here is not to give a lecture about how to do things, but open and set up a debate. So how can this be implemented and created, okay? We're talking about retaining VFX talent in Spain. And just for the sake of giving you a bit of what we'll be talking about, I'll talk briefly about my career, my experience, and then we'll talk about what's been the evolution of the VFX industries internationally and also in Spain. And then I'll just point out some key points that I think are important in terms of what can be done to achieve this retaining of talent. About myself, well, most of you know me, but those who don't, I started like more than 10 years ago in the VFX world. I have an IT background as a software developer, but at some point I decided to just change career path, and I decided to look for something else, and that made me just start looking into 3D stuff, 3D formations. I joined FX animation as school, as a student, and after 2 years of formation, I started working for MPC, doing great things like Guardians of the Galaxy, Jungle Book, and Pirates of the Caribbean, and some other not so great things like Ghostbusters and Fantastic Four, because you do not choose the project, you know, the company sets you on the project, wherever it is. Then I spent a few years back here in Spain teaching VFX here in FX Animation. And then I came back to work for MPC and DNEC, doing some other films like 1917, Dune, and so on. Okay, and now I'm back since the pandemic. I had to come back, and for the moment I'm still here, and I'm the VFX soup of Señora X, which is the studio that we have here in house. Okay, that's basically my career background. Okay. During all these years, what I've done is I had to move abroad, okay? And I've been in London and I've been in Canada, which are two of the main hubs of 3D and VFX that we have in the world. Here you have basically, this is just a map for the purpose of example, but this is a map with many of the VFX studios that are in the world. We can see that we have some clusters here and there, which is LA, Vancouver, Montreal, and Quebec, and Europe, France, UK, and then Asia, Australia, stuff like this, okay? And you have some of them here in Spain as well, Madrid, Barcelona, and Canarias, mainly. And being abroad has given me the experience of meeting people from all around the globe, okay? VFX artists from all around the globe provide several different kinds of cultural perspectives, and this is really crucial when it comes to VFX, because VFX is about problem solving, most likely, and the more different kinds of backgrounds you have, the more ways you have to look at the same problem, so you can achieve different ways to solve it, okay? And this has given me a global perspective about the VFX industry, which is what I've been using to do this presentation today, okay? If we talk about the evolution of the VFX industry for the last 10 years, it's been changing a lot for the last 10 years. When I came in, when I started working on the VFX, there used to be hubs like today, but the whole movie was done in this hub. So if MPC got the project, the whole project was done in MPC London, not any other of the branches of MPC. Thanks to technology, nowadays the project is running and being developed during 24/7. When it closes London, starts Quebec, then Quebec opens Vancouver, then Mumbai, so on and so forth. Okay, always depending on the size of the company. Okay. The other thing that has changed is when I started, nobody knew that there was a VFX profile for a professional. There were people coming from all sorts of backgrounds, as I was saying, electricians, software developers like myself, designers, a lot of people, but nobody had a VFX formation per se. That's also changed. Nowadays, with the increase of demand of VFX, we need more hands, we need more people. So when there's demand, then becomes the offer. So with the offer, with the demand from the industry, a lot of schools started opening their doors, creating new VFX curriculums, degrees, masters, and all sorts of learning platforms to create and to provide these sort of professionals to the business. One of the main changes that we've had is in VFX, it's basically the streaming platforms. Okay, streaming platforms, Netflix and HBO and you name it. Basically do what it's done in a movie, but like 2, 3, 5 times more, because in like one season you have 10 chapters, which is like 1 hour and something each, which means a lot of VFX, a lot of VFX and a lot of work to do, okay? So that's been one of the key changes, I think, in my opinion, about the evolution of the VFX industry. And finally, one of the latest changes that we've had is the remote work. Okay, remote work allows us to work in whatever company from any other place of the world, and this is really interesting because we can, for the company size, they can hire the best professional they can, even if it cannot go to the country or to the place where the office are. And for the professional, it's the same. It can apply. This professional can apply to the best company or the company he worships more. Okay, and it's been proved that it's safe. Okay, usually remote work has been able to be done since many years ago, but until the pandemic we couldn't do so, and the pandemic forced the companies to go remote. And finally, it was proved that it's safe and it's useful. So in my opinion, what I think is the remote work will stay in the industry. basically, we want, not everything will go remote and not everything will go office, there will be hybrid, and the three ways of working will be living together actually, okay? That's basically how I think things have been changing in the last 10 years or so. What about Spain? In Spain, there's been a huge change as well, and it's holding hands with all these changes I've been talking about, but from a different starting point. 10 years ago, we could say, more or less, there was no industry whatsoever when it comes to VFX. Basically, it started with some big studios with a streaming platforms, giving some shots to Ranchito and some other companies for the Game of Thrones series. And they did a good work, they delivered it in time, so in the end, they had a bit better reputation, and shots started coming over from companies and other countries. So this created the seed for Spain to start growing as a VFX industry in the country. And then after this, the VFX artist profile became more popular. Okay, being a VFX something, 3D artist, designer, a software developer, whatever, became a thing. And obviously this, as I was saying before, allowed for schools to create VFX courses and formations and all that stuff. And finally, the last thing that we've seen is some huge companies from other countries have been landing here. Like we have today here, we have Milk, but also there's Redefine, there's Pixomondo as well. There's some huge companies that have recognized what Spain is providing in terms of professionals and said, okay, we have to move here, okay, because the professionals are here. So this is like the situation right now, and the point is, how do we make it go better and larger, okay, and more stable, specifically. So the thing is there a reason to do so? And the thing is, yes, there's a reason. If we check the latest rankings about revenues for film, for example, you'll see that we can get, okay, we can see, I don't know if you can see it. No, well, you don't, not a problem. Basically, what we can see is that like the first 50 movies of all time are all based on VFX. They are hero movies, fantasy movies. Okay, we have Avatar in first place, Avengers, Avatar, Titanic, Star Wars, Avengers, Spider-Man, Jurassic World, Lion King, everything is CG. Okay, and if you see the numbers, I don't know if you can see from them, but it's like 3 billion revenue, 2 point a lot, 2 billion, 1 billion. It's a lot of money. Okay, invested in terms of revenue. So people demand effects, people demand VFX, people demand CGI. Okay, that's what we can, you know, get from these rankings. Okay, and the other thing is, I found this research from a company called Precedent Research. They do research for all sorts of stuff, AI, industries, companies specifically, and you can look them online and you can see the whole market research. And what you can see that what they say basically is, in 10 years' time, this whole revenue will just double. Okay, that's a lot of hands needed. Basically, double the hands. Okay. The thing is, I think in Spain we want part of this cake. That's basically, I mean, there's place for us in this, you know, in this market, because the demand will keep increasing. Okay, and the thing, as I was saying, is in Spain the VFX is already mature. Okay, it's not a bunch of guys starting to learn about something. There's a lot of professionals here and abroad that have all the knowledge needed to provide the best shots. okay, in all the disciplines, okay. So, how do we get a huge ecosystem working here, okay? We need something like an ecosystem. An ecosystem is something that maintains itself in time, okay? It's a system of you know, pieces and things that work together and maintain themselves in time. Basically, the main point is to provide something that is attractive for the professional and interesting for the companies, okay? The companies cannot lack professionals, and the professionals need enough companies to choose and to work in the place, okay? One of the main things that we have here one of the things, now I lost my point, but basically one of the great points that we need is, when it comes to VFX, the career in VFX usually involves, especially in film, involves living with your back on the door. Okay, every 6 months you have to renew your contract, otherwise you might leave the country and look for something else somewhere else. Okay, that's been the classical problem for all the artists. I myself am an example of this, and that was the point up until recent years, where the remote work has come in, and so. But as I was saying, remote work won't be always the option. So usually, if you think in places like London or Vancouver or Mumbai, many companies are there, and the professionals are just jumping from company to company within years. Okay, so so the point is, for a professional, it's interesting to have a bunch of companies, because the companies know that this professional works well because they have the right feedback, and they know that at some point they'll be able to recruit it back. Okay, and for the professional, it's interesting because you can settle down. Okay, one of the main issues of this career, of this profession is, from your 20s to your 30s, it's fine to just move around, but from your 30s on, you want, to settle down, just marry, have children, whatever, buy a house if you can, and stop traveling and not having, a life per se. And it's difficult when you have all that and they request you to move away, because you have to take your kids out of school and there's a bunch of problems that you have to overcome. Okay, so places like London, like Vancouver are like hubs where people stay because the business is there. So that's what we want in Spain. Okay, we want the same thing. We want enough companies so a professional here can say, okay, I've been here, my contract is ending, I'm looking for the other ones, they are in the same city, I don't have to move away, I don't have to disturb my family or my projects. And that's like the basic key for the professional, I think, especially from certain age. So how do we achieve this? Okay, basically, I'll just point out some key points for companies on one side and for professionals on the other. Okay, as I was saying, create an interesting business hub. That means, for example, here in Barcelona, Poblenou, Nou, having enough companies, so all the companies know each other. The professionals are, just available for all the companies. Have some competitive salaries. Okay, I'm fed up with the expression "this is Spain" when it comes to salaries. Okay, we provide the same talent and the same value as other companies and other projects, and obviously our living costs here are cheaper than other countries, but it has to be worth it. Okay, also grants. Okay, just gym subscriptions, like flexible hours, some perks, discounts here and there, stuff like this is always attractive to the worker. Promote inclusion and diversity. As I was saying, people from all backgrounds provide better and more diverse solutions. So not just hiring people from Spain, but hiring people from all sorts of countries. Okay, something that it's worth mentioning is one of the more trendiest words we've been hearing here in Spain for the last 2 years is expat, which is basically someone from another country that comes here in Spain and retires. Okay, because it's cheaper, because the weather, because the food, because everything that we have, it's just great. Okay, make the same for the VFX artist. Okay, weather, food, party, whatever, but also get the potential of people from everywhere in the world and bring it here. Okay, be attractive enough for this. Create a positive, supporting working environment. Okay, basically means create good vibe in the office. Have a company that supports, that listens to the worker, because many times it's enough by just listening. It's not providing the best solution or the solution immediately. It's like, okay, I'm here, we'll bear together this, you know? Not feeling like you work for a system that doesn't feel you, you know? Then have a great onboarding and deboarding. Okay, I've seen many companies that just put you on your cubicle and you are there, and you have to find your way through the pipeline and the system and the emails. Okay, best companies have onboarding protocols, which in VFX usually is assigning someone that takes care of you for the first month or two, so you can go to this person for whatever problem you have. And this is great because in 2 months' time, you're up and running. And especially another one is the deboarding. Deboarding is when a company has to let you go because of contract, or you decide to move somewhere else, or whatever reason. Take notes. Right? Make sure this person, how has this person felt? How does this person, how has this person been working? And if this person leaves happily, it's great. Okay, because it means you're on the right track. And for a company, if it does not end that well, you can take note of that. But if you don't ask and you don't have this proper interview, you won't be getting any feedback on how to improve some stuff. Offer professional development opportunities and industry support. Basically, that means providing a career. Okay, I come to a company as a VFX artist, but I want to become supervisor, tech lead, whatever. Okay, give them an horizon. Give them a way to evolve, basically. The other thing is industry support. Okay, like we are doing here today, allow the professionals to be part of the industry, allowing them to go to conferences, presentations, do activities together between companies and stuff. For example, there was a thing done in Montreal that was the Houdini user group. There's a platform called Meetup, which is to create groups of people that do something. So they created the Houdini user group that basically is like once every 2 months in one of the companies, each time a different one. There was a gathering of Houdini users, professional users, and they were just talking about Houdini and techniques and stuff, and this was creating community and good feeling. That's also really important for the industry and for the community. A sense of belonging, okay? The company has to be able to make their workers share their vision and their mission, and if you feel what you're doing and you believe it because you respect it and you feel respected enough, then you can, just work. Basically, the professionals will work harder because they feel like doing so. And finally, this is like the most virtual one. It's really difficult to change this, but it would be make the government influence be not critical in the long run. That basically means VFX industry is an industry that works basically with tax incentives. That means that when in London, for example, when Disney wants to do some project, goes to MPC, and MPC says, okay, London government provides 40% of the budget, so I can give it to you for 40% less. Okay, that makes MPC London, for example, competitive. Okay, but what if the government of London just shuts the door? okay? Nobody can afford a 40%. So the industry would actually just drop down and move somewhere else. And this happened in the past, and it'll be happening in the future. So I don't know how it should be fixed, but it should be interesting that the government participates of the industry, but it has not like this key decision of whether the industry stays or goes. For the VFX professionals, not such a long list, but also really an important one, which is, when I mean professionals, I mean the professionals themselves, the people, the individuals, but also the platforms, the schools, the universities, all the people who's providing the learning and the teaching. Invest in great quality VFX education. Okay, look for the look to have in the country great community of and great companies that provide formation. Okay, learn and respect global VFX working culture. Okay, as I said, one of the things I learned is VFX industry and professionals are a sharing culture, are a collaborating culture. It's not I am the best, it's not I'm above everyone else, it's more like that's cool, teach me about this. And the other people sharing it happily, okay? Because it's not we do this for ourselves, it's like we do awesome stuff together, okay? Be proactive with the Spanish community, okay? Like we are here today, okay? Basically, yeah, be on the forums, be on the activities, move on all that stuff. And finally, be up to date in the technology, okay? I don't know if there's people from Houdini here. Houdini 20.5 is coming released today, I think, okay? And I've been talking to many people, and we are all really just excited about this, okay? Because there's a lot of stuff coming over. So basically, that would be the whole thing, okay? So in conclusion, retaining talent is essential for having this VFX industry ecosystem. We need to invest in education, and we need enough companies here so people want to stay here, okay? By achieving this, Spanish has already all the ingredients to become one of these world hubs of VFX, okay? And that would be it for my part, okay? As I said, this is a debate that I'm just setting up. It's not a lecture. So the thing is, let's debate, let's talk about it, okay? So thanks for my part. If there's any question, or we can debate now or later on, I don't mind. I'll be here till day today, so just fine for me. Thanks.